Great. Hello, Eric. Thank you for being here. For who doesn't know, Eric is an expert lucid dreamer, and he also attended the course about how to learn to teach lucid dreaming. And he is here to share his experience with lucid dreaming. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Aurora. It's great to see you.
Thank you. The first question for you is, where are you from, and what's your professional background?
I'm originally from the upstate New York, town called Syracuse, but I currently live in New York City in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And my profession, I work in a coaching and teaching role where I've been working with athletes, collegiate athletes mostly, to teach them to improve their sleep and also to learn to engage with their dreams.
Wow. Great journey.
Yeah. And in the last 5 years, 6 years, I've really dived deeper into the lucid dreaming practice and teaching practice. And
so, how did you discover lucid dreaming at first?
Yeah, I had a spontaneous lucid dream when I was in university.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it being a very impactful experience. I didn't know what lucid dreaming was at the time. I just woke up from this really powerful, vivid dream that I knew I was dreaming, and I could fly and I could observe just the beautiful scenery. And I woke up and I was like, what was that? I didn't know I could do that. And I did some investigating and learned what a lucid dream was, bought a book on it, Stephen LeBurge's Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming, and learned how to have them more frequently and how to sustain them for longer and navigate this space with more skill. And from there, since then, I've just been super passionate about it and just loved exploring the practice and sharing it with others.
I love it. There is a thing that you like the most about lucid dreaming that made you want to know much more about it?
I think it's the impact that it's had on my waking life. I think the lucid dreaming environment is incredible, right? There's just unlimited potential of things that you can do and territory that you can explore. But what has been most impactful for me is when I have one of these dreams and then I wake up and it impacts my waking life. I can have a felt sense of integration from maybe something that's like been lacking in me, like a particular shadow aspect of myself, or a piece of insight or a piece of learning that I can take from the dream into my waking life. So it's really been, a combination of really just enjoying this very exciting, interesting environment that we find ourselves in a lucid dream, but also what that implies for our day-to-day waking life.
So there are two things. The one, how you feel during the lucid dream, and the other is how the experience of lucid dreaming transformed you in the waking life, right?
Absolutely.
Wow. Yes, because it's both the things, no? It's not just the practice when you sleep, but also when you are awake.
Yeah, and I think my personal evolution has been, it wasn't immediately like that. I think off the bat, as a young man exploring the lucid dream, it tends to be just fun. Like you fly and you do the sorts of things that, maybe are just kind of pleasurable. But then you learn that there's much deeper aspects to the lucid dream. And those deeper aspects are there for you to explore. They're there to teach you. And I think the more competency that you gain in being able to work with the dream, the more you appreciate that, the more that you have a respect for just how powerful the dreamer is. There's a dreaming, me, kind of Eric, as the kind of avatar within the dream, is also operating within and kind of co-creating that environment with my dreaming mind. And my dreaming mind knows a lot more than I do. And so you learn to develop a lot of appreciation for that and desire to become aware of what this mind is trying to communicate with you.
I love the part that you said that at the beginning it was just fun and engaging the dream, but as you learned more, you found out there is a lot more about what you can do with lucid dreaming. And I think for many people, it is this way.
For sure. Yeah, because it is fun, right? I
Yes.
just, I had a little bit of a drought, and I just had a lucid dream last night, and it kind of followed that same progression. Actually, I became lucid, and what did I do? Okay, I'll fly, and so I flew for a little bit, and then settled down, and was like, okay, now what else can I do that's deeper and going to be more impactful within the dream? And so you can, it doesn't mean like it can't still be fun, but definitely there's more to it than that for sure.
Yes, sure. What's the biggest benefit you had with lucid dreaming?
I think the most impactful thing that I've experienced is being able to turn recurring nightmares of a particular type into lucid dreaming opportunities. So
Mhm.
my father was a pilot, and so we flew a lot, and he flew for a profession growing up. And I still do have dreams of being in a plane crash or seeing a plane crash in the distance. And it's so regularly, it's such a, such a occurrence that happens so frequently that now it's almost automatic that triggers lucidity. And it wasn't always like that. There were many times where I would dream about a plane crash, and I wake up as if I had just died. And as a younger kid, as a teenager, even, it was pretty distressing. I wake up feeling a sense of fear, a sense of, like all the typical physiological reactions that I would have to that, where yeah, I'm just stressed out, and it impacts my day because I feel like I had just died. And now I do die, but I die lucidly in those opportunities. And other opportunities, I can land the plane softly onto the ground. Other opportunities, I can fly into the air. So it's transformed what was a really negative experience into something that is an opportunity to explore the lucid dream space.
Well, yes, I can see that it's really impactful because you had many of that, and then you transformed that experience in something that it's useful and has a positive impact to your life. So really nice experience.
Yeah.
Yes, the next question was about one lucid dream that was the most important, but I don't know, was it this one, or do you have another one that you want to share?
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to share one of the lucid dreams in particular that was pretty impactful for me. And this was one that I had in 2019. I was looking back at my dream journal,
Mhm.
and some of the dreams in general, like the benefits that I get from lucid dreaming, are often, one of the biggest impacts that I've felt from my lucid dream practice is when I do shadow integration.
Mhm.
And I'm not an expert on the shadow, and it's hard for me to really put into words really what it is. But what is most impactful for me is like the felt sense of integration that happens after you have one of these experiences. So what happened in the dream was I was being chased through various different dream environments. I had a couple of different false awakenings. I was being chased by clowns. And I'm not afraid of clowns in my waking life, so I don't know why they were so scary to me in the dream, but I knew that there was something bad about these clowns. And then I kind of came into like the clown, the boss of the clowns, and there was this bigger clown that had more power and was chasing me. And so I decided to fly away. I had become lucid already. I knew this was a dream, and yet I
Mhm.
was still, there was still some sense of fear of this person and these people that were chasing me. And so lucidly, I decided I would fly away and escape. And then I found that this boss clown could also fly
Oh,
and could chase after me. So running away wasn't working.
okay.
And I realized that this was not the right approach. That I needed to engage with whatever aspect of myself that's in this dream that was chasing me, and try to understand it, and try to uh, seek some sense of integration with it.
Mhm.
And so it was still scary because I asked this monster at this point. It had kind of transformed from a clown into something that was even more scary, a monster itself. And I asked, "What do you represent?" And the monster responded back, "My property." I was like, I don't know, what does that mean really? Are you a landlord, or are you, I didn't understand necessarily what the response meant.
Okay.
And I realized that I just needed to accept this piece of myself. And I told it, I love you. I told this monster, I love you, monster. And the monster responded back with a growl right in my face. And I was still lucid. I still knew that this was a dream, and I was still fearful. And then I tried one more time, really with a lot of feeling, told this monster that I love you and gave it a big hug. And from there, the monster just dissolved into light. And there was this just felt sense of wholeness as this piece of me, this aspect of me, was brought into me that I accepted. And then I woke up just feeling great. I just, it's really hard to describe, but just feeling a sense of completeness and wholeness. And I don't know what, and I think actually what it was communicating to me, what rejected aspect of myself or whatever this monster was or represented in my dream didn't really matter. I didn't need to know what it was. I just needed to feel that through the process of accepting this, that there was some part of me that was feeling more whole. And so it's interesting. I actually, that's a common thing that I experience in my dreams. It's hard for my dreaming mind doesn't communicate to me in words, really. Oftentimes I'll ask the dream for an explanation of what do you represent or what is this? And the response comes back and it's not easily understandable. Sometimes upon awakening, I can put the pieces together and understand what in words what it was being trying to communicate. But oftentimes it's just how I feel when I wake up. I understand that there's, you're kind of working with these deeper levels of your being. And by working with those levels, they kind of have an impact on my waking sense of being. So that was an impactful dream. I've had other similar shadow aspects where you need to confront this piece of yourself and bring it into your being. And I find that work to be really, really beneficial and has been an ongoing thing that I like to do in my lucid dreams.
What I love the most about your story is that so many times I hear people say that they understand the dream maybe after some days or weeks, but in your story, in this specific story, you didn't have to understand the meaning of what was happening in the dream, but the dream had an impact on you also if you did not understand. So I think this part is hopeful for some people because you don't have to face some trauma, some phobia, some fear. You just need to be there, experience, and give love to other aspects of yourself. And I love this part because it's more like experiential than logical.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely believe that. And I think there's something to be said for dream interpretation. And I think there's a lot of meaning that you can draw from dreams, but also, it's not all interpretation, and a lot of it is non-conceptual. It is experiential that can be of impact.
Yes, you can do both, but in this specific case, you don't have to. So
Right.
you can choose. Well, so thank you for your story. I like the the clouds. I don't know why they make me laugh. The last question is, do you think more people should know about lucid dreaming and why?
Definitely do. I think that I see that as a big mission of mine, a big undertaking is to spread the word about lucid dreaming because it's been so impactful for me. I've seen where you and I went through the training program to teach lucid dreaming, and hearing other people's stories on the transformations that they've experienced through lucid dreaming, the vast, wide range of benefits that lucid dreaming can bring. I work with athletes, and there's benefits that can come in the form of mindfulness training and imagery rehearsal, practicing your sport or your discipline in a dream, which are maybe a little bit more surface level benefits that you can have. And then deeper things like the shadow integration piece and spiritual practice and trauma and nightmare integration. There's just so many different benefits that can come from engaging with lucid dreams. And then the trickle down impact of that is that you're more engaged with your non-lucid dreams as well. And I think there's a lot to be learned from non-lucid dreams And just increasing the awareness that you have of your dreaming mind and what it's trying to communicate with you can be so impactful. And I think aspiring to lucid dream is great. And when you have lucid dreams and you're able to achieve lucidity, it's very impactful and all that. But then there's also all of the downstream things that can happen by working with this practice.
When you were speaking, I thought that maybe we have our life, but we live just one part of it when we are awake. And we don't, the most of us, we don't live the part when we are sleeping. And I think that also this part is, yes, it's a real part of life, not just a fantasy as many of us think. So it's amazing to discover this part, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's it's partly a product of our culture. We are a wake centric culture. We value the waking state more than any other state of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that we devalue sleep and dreams and other altered states of consciousness, meditation and psychedelics and all that. And these other altered states of consciousness are very valuable. And dreaming in particular is super valuable because it's accessible to you every night. There's no side effects, and can bring huge benefits in the areas of creativity and insight, and just kind of resetting your day-to-day, inside the box thinking, and help you think more creatively and kind of give your brain like a little bit of like a reset. And it's just so powerful. And I think more people are understanding that you said it's just as real. I don't know if you said just as real, but it feels real when it's happening, and an emotion. I think we see dreams as unreal because they're hard to hold on to, right? They're kind of ephemeral. Well, emotions are just the same. Anger, you can't hold on to, you can't see anger, or you can't see love or hold on to love, but they have huge impacts on us. And I think our dreams kind of fall into the same category where they may seem unreal, but they have real impacts on our existence.
Yes, that's true. I don't have nothing to say more because I agree with you. So thank you for being here and for sharing your experience. And I hope to see you soon again. So
yeah, thank you for having me, Aurora. It was great to share with you.